Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, welcome back to the Old Humble Distilling Company. We are live in the distillery today. As you see, my twin sisters over there, the ladies, J-Lo and Shakira. We are not distilling anything. Excuse me. Not distilling anything today. I am going to be distilling something next week. That is going to be, we'll get into that more later. Today, I am working on a little project. There is a local club here in the Humble area called the Humble Whiskey Club. The Humble Whiskey Club, as you can imagine, is a local whiskey club. Hence the name Humble Whiskey Club. I guess I should do all the YouTube housekeeping stuff to start with, shouldn't I? Don't forget to subscribe. Since you stopped by and you were kind enough to visit, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. Hey, that's cool. I will be monitoring comments, so I will be able to chat with you as you do it. In fact, I'm going to open up the video now so that I can watch comments as they come in, if they come in. I mean, you're under no obligation. You don't have to comment. Don't worry. I apologize for the noise in the background. The fan is running because it is oddly warm outside. The temperature today is, what is the temperature today in the Humble area? The Humble area, the temperature is an unseasonably warm 79 degrees. Holy crap. So it's a little bit warm in here today, but it's not like oppressively hot. Anyway, so I'm working on this new project. We have a barrel pick whiskey going out. Well, that will be available in stores locally here. So I've got some things that I've got over here. Nuts! I gotta go grab a thing. Hey, enjoy the wall while I go grab this thing. Hang on. That Sharpie. Where did the Sharpie go? Where is that? I think I may have also lost it. Oh. I may, in due course of time, lost a key. This table's been moved. I may have lost my mailbox key. That's not good. Oh, the challenges of a business owner. I may have gone and lost my mailbox key. Because it was sitting on this table. Oh well, doesn't matter. All right, so back to this project. This is what we're going to do. I've got in my possession here, I've got a stamping block, some medallions, some, what are these? Bracelet blanks, and sans serif uppercase. It says majusculas. They're uppercase letters. So I'm going to, so the idea is actually to get a couple of different hammers. This was my dad's ball peen hammer. and I took it out of his toolkit years and years and years ago. This is the one I had in my camping gear. This is about twice as heavy, not quite twice as heavy, much heavier, 50% probably heavier than this one. And I'm wondering which one works best for this particular project. So what we're going to do some metal stamping. I am kind of curious as to how this is going to shake out and shape up. I want to use both of these hammers. I will be making a die specially for the Humble Whiskey Club, and then we'll be stamping medallions, and I think I'll be using medallions that are this size. These are 1-inch medallions. These are 1 1/4-inch medallions. 1 1/4 inch. Well, we'll see which one fits best. Is what we'll do. And I'm not sure. I don't know yet. I honestly don't know. And there's a couple of questions that I've got as far as how this goes, because I'm not sure if the stamp will bleed through to the other side. If it'll imprint. Ooh, this is nice. All right, so this is the metal bench block is what it's called. It sits down here. You see that? It sits down here, gives you something to stamp upon. There it is. It's just a little chunk of metal. All right, let's get back up here. Back up here. Quit looking at my crotch. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to see how this goes. So this is little rubber feet, I guess, to protect the tabletop surface, I guess. To stop this from squirming around. I've watched a couple of videos, but there's no videos that I've seen that have a custom stamp, a custom die. It's all with letters and stuff, so this wasn't a particularly expensive kit. I had my own hammer already. I just needed this bench block to work off of. Oh, yeah, that's nice. All right, so we're going to bring you down a little bit. Come on down. All right, I'll bring you down. I'm going to sit, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Bring you a little closer. Adjust the TV screen there. All right, well, let's bring, yeah, I can knock you down even a little further so you can actually see what's going on. All right. So the idea is going to be, this is kind of a proof of concept. Because like I said, I've got questions about how this works out. And I want to see how this, you know what, I'm going to start with these. Well, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of those. So I'm going to save that. Because if this actually works as well as I hope it will, I might make, that sounds silly, but I might make actual bracelets for the family. I think those will be cool little gifts for the family for Christmas. All right, so these are brass. Those are copper coming out of the bag. Let's look and see what we got. These brass ones, there's 3 brass ones. They're not particularly thick, and I dropped it immediately. They're not particularly thick. They don't feel too terribly thin, but they're I don't know, about 1/8, a 32nd of an inch. They're not particularly thick. They're not particularly thin. Point you directly at me, Mr. Microphone. So what I'm worried about is with this thinness, I'm wondering if the imprint is going to bleed through to the other side. And I'm also worried about the fit on the bottle. We have these bottles. So the copper medallion, the 1 inch fits perfectly fine right up there in the corner. The 1 1/4 inch also fits perfectly fine right up there in the corner. and the 1 1/4 inch gives me a little bit more room to play with. And you can get these blanks on Amazon fairly cheap. They're not terribly expensive. I got all this stuff in Michael's. This wasn't expensive. I think this was $5. All these blanks were $5. These blanks were $5. It gets expensive when you start talking about 100 of them, 250 of them. It is much cheaper to get 250 of these blanks from Amazon than it is to get 250 of these blanks from Michael's. But Michael's is not exactly a bulk jewelry store for bulk crafts. They're more, well, obviously, retail. They're a retailer. They're going to sell at retail prices. So I've got these stamps right here. They're not particularly large. That's the H. I don't know if you can see that. You cannot. Does not focus. Boop. All right, does not focus. That's fine though. GH. I gotta make sure I put it back in the right spot. Cheers to chat. Hi everybody watching. Both of you. We will, of course, get back to the distilling sciences or distilling arts in the next few weeks or the next few days. Tuesday, Monday, I will be in here. We will go live Monday, and you will see the first step of distillation, the first step of the cook. I'll be working on one of my whiskeys on Monday. You'll just have to find out which one on Monday. All right, clean this up a little bit. Got some gum on it. So what this is just a sanding block. Nothing fancy. But what I'm going to use this for, and these Sharpies are for, I'm stalling is what I'm doing. All right, I need one more thing. I need to get a piece of tape. Electrical tape will do the trick. Just tape to hold it down so that I can maintain a line across these things. Hey, Lone Star. Cheers, brother. So this tape will help me maintain a line if I want to cut across. So what I'm simply going to do for this one, I'm going to go right across the middle, and I'm going to bang in Humble, Humble, HUMBL. Where's my L? There it is. That's a J. JKLE. All right. Now these guys, there's a little bit of machine oil on them. So I'm gonna wipe that off with my handy dandy wiping rag here for you over there. Now, from what I've read and what I've seen, I don't need to put a lot of pressure on these guys. I don't need to put a lot of pressure on them because these metals are fairly soft metals. That's the E. I also need to make sure I do it right, the right direction. That'd be funny. It'd be a very humble thing for me to do is misspell the word, the name of the city. That happened in a parade once. No lie. And this L looks weird. That's fine. Wipe these off. They have a little machine oil on them. Make sure they don't rust in transit because obviously they come from China just like everything else. So I assume they come from China. Where's that box? Made in China. So there you go. They come from China. Just like everything else in the world, or nearly everything else in the world, our fine whiskeys don't come from China. Our fine whiskeys come from right here in the United States of America. Made by loving craftsmen's hands. Well, at least a craftsman's hands. So in the survey that I took last week about what I should talk about in my live settings that I come to the distillery, half of the people said I should talk about whatever strange shit comes in my brain this week versus stand your ground laws, or I can't even remember what the first one was. Doesn't matter. All right, Lone Star. So what I'm making is these are medallions. Well, this is a proof of concept. I have question. I start back at the beginning. There's a local whiskey club called the Humble Whiskey Club. The Humble Whiskey Club is going to have a barrel pick that will be, the club pick that will be shown off in. This is the first draft of the stamp. Take a look at this. I got first draft of the stamp. Y'all get to see it first. Y'all even get to see it before the Humble Whiskey Club gets to see it. So, bravo. See that? There it is. So I'm going to be making this custom stamp, but I've got questions about how this will work. Will the stamp actually bleed through to the other side? Hi, Lisa. Cheers. Will the stamp, will the lettering on this bleed through to the other side of the medallion? Because they're really thin. But the lettering's also, I mean, that lettering is not raised at all. So I don't think I have to worry about the lettering bleeding through to the other side of the stamp. But I want to prove it and make sure of it. I don't know how easy this is going to be. I need to make 200 or so of these medallions. I want to see before I get the stamp, because the actual stamp, it's about this big around. And I got to make 200 of them. And I got to see how much pressure I got to practice and make sure I'm doing it well. So this is proof of concept, is where we're at right now. So what I need to do is I'm going to draw a line in the middle of this, or at least where I think is the middle. And I'm going to make my HUMBLE on either side of it. And we're going to see, I got two different hammers. This is the ball peen. This is the hammer I use for my tent stakes. And this is this is a much heavier ball peen hammer. I'd like to restore this at some point. Take the tarnish off of it, return it to its shiny glory, like that one. That was my dad's old hammer. Ever since I've had it, it's been tarnished like that, and I would like to fix it. Now they do have hammers specifically designed for this sort of thing. Well, they say it's designed for. It's just a 1 pound hammer. It's a brass hammer. That has a removable end, so that you can replace the head of the hammer. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be doing this with individual letters. The Humble Whiskey Club stamp is going to be a single stamp. And I'll just bring it down one time to make the impression. Or either one shot or two to make sure the impression is deep enough and clear enough. So I don't have to worry about lining up the words or letters or anything like that. Now, this is to mark the letters, and then they suggest either a polishing block or, well, that doesn't work. Well, it works a little bit. Buff it real quick, see if that gets the goo out. All right. Well, that did not get. Let's try this with a different, a little darker here. Try it again. This pen sucks. That work? Y'all want to see the finished product, don't you? Well, so do I. Calm down. Hey, Moose Gal, cheers. All right. See if that shows up. You see that? There it goes. I mean, it's not perfect, obviously. This is proof of concept. Now, looking at the back of it, I see a little bit of bleed through. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a little bit of warping in the back of this, but not a tremendous amount. Let's try this. There. Can you see that? There's a little bit of warping. You can see a little bit of the warping in the background there. Right there. Yeah, you can see it really well there in that angle. And but you can definitely note with these letters. These letters are extremely small. You definitely notice the writing that's in there. But again, when I actually have the actual logos and stuff on there, this is going to be shrunk down to this size. So this one might actually be a better, it'll be a larger medallion, so it'll be more visible. This medallion, the 1-inch medallion, will basically fill up the entirety of this. But I think it is a successful proof of concept, at least. I have far more patience than you. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't normally describe myself as a patient individual, but when it comes to when I think about what I do for a living, I think I have to be a fairly patient individual. Now, that was 6 different strikes, 6 different letters. That is not. That takes a long time. It's UMBLE. W H I Jesus S K Y. If I had to do this 6 letters for each one, I would not even consider this. That's just too damn much. 6 letters, multiple letters for each bottle. Nah, that ain't happening. That ain't ever happening. But that's that the H? That's the N. Oh, H is over here. WHISKEY. All right. I'm going to use Dad's hammer for the whiskey part. Good K. That's a Y. Also, you should have your letters lined up so it's easier to find them. That's the E when you need them. E, Y, then WH, WIS. I know how to spell whiskey. What the hell is my H? Is that the H? That's the N. WHISKE. Oh, here's the H. That's the B. HUM. Where the hell did I put the H? W. It's KUI. Those three done. Did I put them back like a dumbass? Guys, I think I'm losing my mind. There's the H. WHISKEY. Got it. Okay. WHIS. I need the S. And that goes right dead in the middle. And that's the same upside down as it is right side up. All right. So this is much heavier. It gives a much more solid impression, obviously, the first time you whack it. But if I've got to lift that thing up 200 times and drop it back down, that's going to be a bad afternoon. So I don't think we're going to be using this one for the actual project. Definitely not using this one for the actual project. All right. It's also harder to direct it, harder to guide it and manage it and make sure it goes where it's supposed to go. All right, so then the acrylic, it's just a Sharpie. Rub it out. That gets it into the holes. Then I get it off the high points. It was definitely clear as far as what was going into the impression that it was making. That's another thing I was worried about. Warping. That is definite warping. Come closer. See what I got. So we've got a little bit of impressions coming through on the back. Not too bad. Nice and clear on the front. That works out fine. And most importantly, placement on the bottle, it's very visible from a distance. Well, I mean, you're not going to see the lettering necessarily from a distance, but you'll see the medallion from a distance, just like so. And if I wanted to use the brass one, the gold one, that's even better as far as placement goes on the bottle. That looks good. All right, now let's see how it looks with the brass medallion. We'll do that. HUM. BL. So WH. WHISKE. That's a Y. E. That's an S. WHISKE. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see what it looks like with this one. I'm not sure which is softer, brass or copper. But I'm going to do both parts of it at the same time this time. So I'm going to go with random shit that pops in my head this week. First off, we're going to talk about Vlogmas challenge I'm doing. The 25 days of videos starting today. I did my first one this morning at about 3:30. That was too much. See the impression it left? Can you see that? No, you can't see that. You'll see in a minute. All right, so that was too much pressure because it actually picked up the indentation of the actual die. So this is softer metal apparently. I just screwed up too. H. Oh, what the hell am I doing here? L. Where's the E? M. So the 25 days of Vlogmas started this morning at 3 o'clock, 3:30, give or take. I did my first vlog for Christmas Vlogmas post with a local YouTube group. Participating with a local YouTube group called Vid Houston. I expect the videos will get much better going forward because I mean this was really just kind of an impromptu, like I'm going to go ahead and do this thing so I don't forget to do it. We start with a W. Then afterwards I got my title screen and thumbnail. That's the E. WH. They're supposed to have a marker on here to tell you which direction is front, but they don't. H. I. So I think in a couple of days I'll start a gingerbread house. That was another one I just hit too hard. HIS. K. E. I've got a handful of ideas for stuff to do. I'm debating whether or not I should do like a morning upload video or a morning live video. Have not decided yet. If y'all have ideas, I am all ears to find out what y'all would like to see. All right. Then final polish. That should get all the excess off. There we go. I like the brass just as well. The lettering's smaller. It's a bigger space. I was not as smooth and easy with this one. It's kind of sloppy as far as the as far as the as far as the lettering goes. It's kind of sloppy. And it's definitely more warped. I need to be careful about putting too much pressure on this thing if I use the brass. Definitely need to worry about putting too much pressure because that L is deep in there. The L is deep in there. And maybe that's how much pressure I should be putting with the L. But you can, I don't know if you can see that. But as far as the warping goes, and maybe I'm just overthinking the warping. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. You can see how much the brass cupped versus the copper, but that's not really that big of a deal because even putting it on the bottle, with adhesive or whatever, it's gonna stick exactly where I tell it to stick. So I don't guess I need to be terribly worried about that. But I do need to make sure I put consistent pressure. And it's not really a whole lot of pressure that needs to be put. Just a simple, that's enough. Just like that. Obviously on wood, that's too much, but that drive right into the wood. So I think I have a proof of concept. I think this thing will work. And let's get you back up. Should I do one more? Should I do more to this one? Yeah. I don't have numbers. But this is a whole mess now. Damn it. I've had these for like a minute and they're all messed up. They're all jumbled in there like crazy. All right, I think we got a good solid proof of concept. What time is it? 3:30. I got to pick my kid up at 4. Old Humble Double Oak Rye coming to stores near you. Keep an eye out for it. Pick yourself up a bottle. Our show will be on tomorrow night, 9 p.m. We took a week off for Thanksgiving, but Lisa will have her dating profile up for us, and we will be able to critique it and help to, I don't know, improve it. I don't know how us dum-dums are going to improve a lawyer's profile, but, fine. I'm sure we can add a few cuss words here and there. That'll make it exciting and fun. Exciting and new. I wonder now what happens if I need to touch it up. Like what happens? Can I touch it up? Does that improve it any? A little, not much. That W is all weak. What happens if I hit that one again? I'm trying to find out ways that this gets ruined and messed up as part of the whole proof of concept idea. Like, I have the die, I smash it down. How many times does it take? At what point does it get messed up and ruined? What point does the whole concept fail? But since the die is going to have all the writing on it already, and it's going to be about the size of the end of this hammer, that's about the size of the die. So you can see. No, that's wrong. The die is actually about the size of this copper. So ultimately, it'll have a gutter around it of about that much. Come on back down here. See better. So the die, you see the difference between the copper and the brass. The die will be, that's about how the die will be situated on there. And, everything will fill in that space. So I should be able to, that copper is just about the size of the pounding surface on this hammer, which is fine. So I should be able to just give it one good solid whack. And it really does look better on the copper. Copper took it better, but I was more careful with the copper. So I was much more careful with the copper. The copper really did take it better. Throw it down in the comments, guys. Tell me what you like better, copper or the brass. The brass is a little bit bigger, but I can get 1¼ inch coppers. They just didn't have 1¼ inch coppers at Michael's. Copper looks good on there too. The copper on the green, that looks really good, doesn't it? Versus the brass. Of course, the brass is going to be, going to polish that up. That'll look really nice. Looks like a gold medal almost, except it's a brass medal. Let me know which one you think. Which one you like better. Anyway, I got to pick up my kid at 4, so I'm going to shut this down in just about 3 minutes. Next time I'm on will probably be Friday. Friday. Get up here. Quit looking at my feet, weirdos. I'll be back on Friday, doing some other works, doing some things. Let's send this pic here. Saved files on my phone. And next week we're gonna have. Next week we're gonna cook up a batch of rice whiskey and get that ready to go into the distillation. And then a week after that, it will go into the. So we got 2 weeks worth of projects coming up, which would be cool. Not photos. Trying to find the file, so I can send it to my boy. This is exciting, right? Watching me work. And to be quite honest, a lot of the work I do looks a lot like this, where I am looking for files and sending files and doing things with files. There it is. All right, I'm sending the barrel pick stamp, this bad boy, over to the Humble Whiskey Club to see what they think about it. I think they'll like it. And if I take a quick picture of the actual stamp here. The stamping works well on copper. And I will attach a picture of that photo that I just took for him. And let's take a look at that on there. And the copper looks good on the bottle. All right. Anybody else in chat? Anybody got questions? No worries. Cool. So tomorrow, not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Thursday. But I'll use all right. I think I'll use the slightly larger medallion. I'm not sure if I want to use, although that, the brass with the copper backing, that looks pretty good. But that doubles the cost. Not sure. Not sure. I would like to see the die actually on. So I'm going to save these blanks for when we actually get the die. I'll save these blanks. It's going to take a few weeks to get the die in. HU. I gotta put these damn things back. QMB. Is that the B? The M. How the hell? So while I'm doing this, here's the random thing that popped in my head this week. Coaches, career coaches, lifestyle coaches, social media coaches, they provide a valuable service. Most of the time. A, B, C, where's C? Most of the time. They provide a very valuable service. I am convinced of it. I believe in them. I believe in what they do. As a former consultant, the power of a consultant to help you with your business, with your project, with whatever you're doing, they can be an amazing resource. However, here comes the but. They can also be a big pain in the ass. And this is the difference between a good coach and a bad coach. Like a good coach asks you a question, a very important question, before going off and starting to give you advice. Well, they ask a couple of questions of themselves, especially, not the least of which is, does this person want my advice? I mean, you may think that your advice is great to be giving, and like, who wouldn't want your consultation, right? Well, the answer to that question is most people, especially if your consultation is a canned answer that you've been waiting to give somebody. Take YouTube's, for example, as a perfect example, the YouTube's. Everyone will tell you that on your YouTubes, you need a niche. Niche, 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 niche. Everyone needs to have their niche. A, B, C, D, E, F is next. F should be in here somewhere. I don't think I took F out. There it is. Everyone needs to have their niche. People don't go to YouTube for random entertainment. They go to YouTube channels for your niche. They want to know that every time they come to you, they're going to get the same, they're going to get their entertainment. Well, as somebody who consumes YouTube, I can tell you that's bullshit. Because, what the fuck? Oh, these are all, except for that one. These all should be upside down, I guess. Like the F is ass backwards. How's the F backwards? Oh, because you turn it this way. The A is right. The C is upside down. As is the D. And the E. And I guess the B too. F. All right. So I've run into this several times. Social media manager says, I want to run your social media. We can get you 10,000 followers on Instagram. Never once bothering to ask the question of, why would I want 10,000 followers on Instagram? You have G. Where's G? Why would I want 10,000? Why? Answer the question of why should I, whiskey or tea whiskey guy, why on earth do I need 10,000 followers on Instagram? Like, just for the sake of having them. I mean, you've got to be able to tell me what value it is. If I mean, especially if you're trying to do this for a service, for a fee-based service. If you're trying to do this as a fee-based service, you better be able to come at me and tell me your fee, GHI, is valuable and worth the effort. Because, I mean, I know why I want to have 10,000 followers. I know the answer to that question. But it also only matters in context of how I intend to use those 10,000 followers. Where's my J at? There's J. It also matters how I intend to use those 10,000 followers. How best to monetize those 10,000 followers. Whether having 10,000 followers is part of my advertising and marketing plan. I mean, it's not right now, but it will be at some point. And when it gets to that point, I would much rather have 10,000 engaged followers or 1,000 engaged followers than 10,000 followers who aren't engaged, who are just there for the sake of being there. HIJKL. And that's the case with most people. But with like entertainment lifestyle, JKL, entertainment lifestyle channels, they have a lot of followers, but they're not, engaged followers. You can have 1 million followers and only you ever hear from them twice ever, like because they subscribed and they subscribed at some point. It's Q. Toss Q out. They're a bunch of crazy fuckers. LM. That's X. Oh, this is stupid and tedious and boring and dumb. I know there's a better way to have done this. Anyway, I'll do it the better way. If you've got a canned one size fits all philosophy on coaching, you're not a very good coach. Because every situation is different, every circumstance is different, every single client, they may all have similar needs, and you may be able to eventually get to your canned program. But this is also one of the reasons why I have just a visceral contempt for deliberative bodies, because most of the time, and not always, certainly not all the time, most of the time, deliberative bodies don't actually do anything. Jay. Over here, okay. What is going on? I know I got the K in. They don't do anything. They've made a decision, and they're trying to either talk themselves into the decision or out of the decision, or give the appearance of discussion and debate to legitimize the decision that they already made. It's frustrating. And if you're a consultant and you run into this same pattern, of, you've already made the decision, and your conversations with your client are just this veneer to give the appearance of discussion and give the appearance of discussion to legitimize the decision you've already made, then you're not a very good coach. Most situations are not a one size fits all type of thing. You can give the recommendation for direct mail to get more customers, but if your client does not have the means and wherewithal to do direct mail, then you've just given very bad advice. Direct mail may be a very effective means to their end. T U V W X Y Z. But if they can't do the solution, then you're not giving a solution. You're just giving words. And, when you talk to a small YouTuber or a small content creator, and you start telling them, you need to be here, 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 and it all needs to be integrated, and you have to have cameras and microphones and LinkedIn, and that shit's overwhelming. Like, when you're talking to a small YouTuber who's asking, how do I get started? The answer to how I get started is not have accounts set up on 50,000 different social media sites. Fuck me. 50,000 social media sites, and have them all integrated with each other and looking back to each other, and email campaigns, and then very quickly your client begins to not listen to you because you are talking nonsense words that make them overwhelmed. Because all you really need to do is tell them the next step. They don't want to know the 50th step. What are they going to do with a highly integrated customer resource management system? And that's like giving them sewing machine to a donkey. They don't know what the hell they're going to do with that. There's nothing they can do with that. You've overreached your service, motherfucker. You've overreached your service, and you can't do that anymore. you can't do that and expect to continue to have your client engaged. S. Where's my S? I can't find my S with a flashlight and a road map. TR. It's gonna be the last one, isn't it? Of course, it's the last one. S. The ampersand. NOP. What? TR. S. T. So yeah, that's popped into my head recently about how consultants who are really, really good at what they do, mind you, really, really good at what they do. They know what they're talking about, but they will talk themselves right out of a job because they are convinced that they know what they're talking about. And there are very few things worse than somebody who is convinced that they know what they're talking about trying to tell you what it is that you need, because they always tell you what you need to do, what you should do. The words you should never leap out of a consultant's mouth. Never, ever, ever should they leap out of a consultant's mouth. Especially if you have not been engaged to be a consultant. You should integrate your marketing systems and blah, 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 blah. What you should do is tell them what you would do. I would, if I were in your position, I would, and then that opens up an engaging discussion of how would you do that in my position? You don't know what resources I have. Would you like to know what resources I have to be able to do such a thing? Because that sounds like a really cool idea, and I've thought about it, but maybe you would like to know what kind of resources I have because, you can't do that. And the quickest and easiest way to, what the fuck is a CFP? The quickest and easiest way to lose a client is to give them unrealistic, completely and totally unrealistic solutions to the problems that you don't even understand very well. Or the things that you think are their problems but aren't actually their problems. Oh, dude, check it out. I'm looking at my oh. Is it because, well, why is it? I'm looking at my shorts. Oh, check it out. I'm looking at shorts. The first two shorts I'm not looking at shorts. I have my video running. This is the video of us running, right? And I turned off, I closed up chat. And then the shorts beta, the first two shorts in the beta. Look at that. That is my right before or right after Thanksgiving short, Family Time in the Woods with my bottles. And the other one is to be infatuated with my ability to change seasons. The first two shorts in the shorts list are my shorts. Eat my shorts, YouTube. You know that's funny. Laugh. All right. It is 10 till 4, and I've got to go pick up my son. And then I have to go home and do work, so I can't leave the computer here. I have to take it home. So peace out, homeboys. Love y'all bunches. Don't forget to subscribe to the Old Humble Distilling Company's channel. Thursdays at 9 p.m. is our Old Humble Happy Hour. And we will be having daily posts for Vlogmas 2021. Be on the lookout for those. It'll either be a daily post or a daily live. Not more than 20 minutes long. The first one was 5 minutes. I don't know what nonsense I'm going to get into over the next 24 days, but it's going to be something. It's definitely going to be something. It's going to exist. It's going to be in the universe. So, I don't know what's going on tomorrow, much less 23 days from now. So we're talking 24 days of Vlogmas be posting up videos. We're going to have some fun with it. And my hunch is about 15 days or so into it, I'm going to hate it because the tyranny of the live stream that comes on, whether you're ready to go or not, the tyranny of the posting schedule, the tyranny of all this stuff. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Absolute fun. All right. Cheers and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to y'all later. Bye.